Do you ever feel like life is a constant battle, fighting to keep up, to be heard, to feel like you're enough? What if I told you that everything you've been taught about success, control, and happiness is wrong? Here's the truth. The harder you push, the further peace slips away. The more you fight, the more life fights back. But what if I told you there's a way to live without all this struggle, a way to achieve more by doing less, to feel powerful without dominating, and to find calm in the chaos? It's not a trick. It's an ancient wisdom buried under centuries of noise, and it could transform your life starting today. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the teachings of Lao Tsu, a forgotten master whose lessons are as relevant now as they were thousands of years ago. Lessons that challenge everything you think you know about strength, success, and serenity. By the end of this, you won't just see the world differently, you'll see yourself differently. Ready to let go and reclaim your life? Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Living in harmony with the Tao. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're swimming against the current? Like no matter how hard you try, life keeps pulling you in the opposite direction? What if I told you you don't have to fight the current at all? Lao Tsu believed there's a natural flow to the universe, a rhythm, a path, a force that moves everything in perfect harmony. He called it the Tao, or the Way. But here's the catch. You can't see it. You can't touch it. You can only feel it when you stop resisting. Think about it. How much of our struggle comes from forcing things to happen, chasing goals that don't feel right, clinging to situations we know we should let go of? Lao Tsu's wisdom whispers, let it go. Now, this doesn't mean you stop taking action. Oh no, it's not about giving up, it's about aligning. Picture a leaf floating on a stream. It doesn't fight the water, it flows with it. And yet it still gets exactly where it needs to go. So, here's the million-dollar question. Are you fighting life's currents, or are you flowing with them? What would happen if, just for a moment, you trusted the Tao, trusted that the universe knows what it's doing? And if you think that sounds easier said than done, don't worry, we're just getting started. Because understanding the Tao is one thing, but living it? That's where the magic happens. Ready to dive deeper into this idea? Let's keep going. Lesson 2. Wu Wei, effortless action. Have you ever had one of those days where everything just flows? Where things seem to fall into place without you even trying? Now imagine if every day felt like that. Sounds impossible, right? But what if Lao Tsu was onto something with his idea of Wu Wei, effortless action? Let's be honest, most of us spend our lives pushing. We push deadlines, push for results, push through exhaustion. But here's the irony. The more we push, the harder things seem to get. Lao Tsu believed the secret isn't in pushing harder, but in letting go. Not giving up. No, that's not it, but letting things unfold naturally. Picture a river. It doesn't fight the rocks in its path. It flows around them, smooth and calm, yet powerful enough to carve through mountains. Now ask yourself this. Are you the river, or are you the rock? Wu Wei isn't about being lazy or passive. It's about finding the sweet spot where effort and flow meet. Think of an artist so immersed in their work that time disappears, or an athlete in the zone, moving with precision and grace. They're not forcing it, they're in harmony with the moment. But here's the real question. How do you find that harmony? How do you know when to act and when to step back? That's the mystery of Wu Wei. And here's the kicker. It's something you feel, not something you force. So, let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped fighting every current and started moving with them instead? If you let go of control, could you actually gain more of it? Let's explore this idea a little further. There's more to uncover. Lesson 3. Simplicity and humility. Let me ask you something. How much of your life feels like it's overloaded with things, with responsibilities, with noise? What if the secret to finding peace isn't in adding more, but in letting go? Lao Tsu believed that the path to true strength and harmony lies in two simple virtues: simplicity and humility. But here's the real twist. Can you embrace them in a world that constantly tells you to want more, be more, do more? Think about it. We chase bigger houses, shinier gadgets, more recognition. But what does it all leave us with? A cluttered life and a restless mind. Lao Tsu's wisdom whispers, simplify. Not because you need to give up joy, but because by letting go of what doesn't matter, you make space for what truly does. Here's a thought. When was the last time you savored a moment of quiet, just sat without distractions, and noticed how life is perfectly complete as it is? It's harder than it sounds, isn't it? And what about humility? In a world where everyone is shouting to be seen, Lao Tsu saw humility as a superpower. Imagine being like water. It flows effortlessly, nurtures everything around it, yet it seeks the lowest places. It's quiet, unassuming, and because of that, it's unstoppable. So let me ask you, are you living a life that feels light, or are you carrying too much? Could simplicity and humility be the keys to unlocking the peace you've been searching for? Let's dive deeper, because there's more to uncover about the profound strength that comes from living simply and humbly. Lesson 4. Flexibility and adaptability. Have you ever seen a tree bend in the wind? It doesn't snap, it sways, moving with the storm instead of against it. Now here's the question. In your life, are you the tree, or are you the stiff branch that breaks under pressure? Lao Tsu taught that true strength isn't about being rigid. It's about being flexible, like bamboo that bends but never breaks. But let's be real. How often do we resist change? How often do we fight against what's happening, clinging to our plans as if life is supposed to follow our rules? Think about the last time something didn't go your way. Did you adapt, or did you resist? Did you find a way to move forward, or did you feel stuck, overwhelmed by the unexpected? Life, just like nature, is full of twists and turns, and Lao Tsu knew that the secret isn't in controlling the wind. It's in learning how to move with it. Imagine being water flowing around a rock. The rock doesn't stop the water. It simply changes its path. The water finds a way forward effortlessly. Could you do the same? Could you see obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities to shift, adapt, and grow? And here's the big question. What would your life look like if, instead of fighting every challenge, you learned to flow with them? If you became as adaptable as water, as flexible as bamboo? Hold on to that thought, because we're just starting to unravel the power of flexibility and how it can transform the way you approach life. Let's keep going. Lesson 5. Non-competition. Have you ever felt exhausted trying to prove yourself? Competing for recognition, for success, for a place in the world? Let me ask you this. What if the real path to strength isn't in the fight, but in stepping away from it altogether? Lao Tsu believed that true power lies not in competing, but in letting go of the need to dominate. Imagine water flowing downstream. It doesn't compete with the rocks in its path. It simply moves around them. And yet, over time, that same water can shape mountains. So, here's the question. In your life, are you trying to break through the rocks, or are you flowing around them? Now think about the times you've competed, maybe at work, in relationships, or even in your mind, comparing yourself to others. Did it bring peace? Or did it leave you drained, always wanting more? Lao Tsu knew that the endless chase for superiority keeps us locked in a cycle of dissatisfaction. He teaches that by choosing non-competition, we actually rise above it. But don't misunderstand, this isn't about giving up. It's about rising higher, focusing your energy on your path instead of being distracted by others. After all, isn't a tree that grows quietly in the forest just as mighty as one standing alone on a hill? So, here's a thought. What if you stopped running the race and started walking your own path? Could you achieve more by stepping away from the fight and embracing the flow? hold that idea for a moment, because the wisdom of non-competition has much more to reveal about what it means to live freely. Let's keep going. Now that you've uncovered the timeless wisdom of Lao Tsu, let me ask you, what are you going to do with it? Will you let these ideas stay as mere thoughts, or will you use them to transform your life? Imagine what could change if you stopped fighting the currents of life and started flowing with them. What if you chose simplicity over chaos, flexibility over resistance, peace over constant struggle? What's holding you back from becoming the person you've always wanted to be? The choice is yours. But remember, knowledge without action is powerless. Take the first step today, apply just one of these principles to your life, and watch how it begins to shift. If you're ready to keep learning and growing, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the next life-changing lesson. Together, we'll explore more ancient wisdom that can help you create the life you truly deserve. And if you want to dive even deeper into Lao Tsu's teachings, I've got something special for you. The Tao Te Ching, one of the most profound books ever written, is available on Amazon right now for an incredibly low price. The link is pinned in the first comment below. Don't miss this chance to start mastering the art of effortless living. Now's the time to take control of your path. What will you choose? Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.